The global stage is shifting, new players are emerging, and the balance of power is being redefined. One group in particular has captured the world's attention: BRICS. This coalition of nations is not just a fleeting alliance but a significant force in the global arena. This acronym stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Each of these countries brings unique strengths and resources to the table. Together they represent a formidable force, not just in terms of economic power but also in political influence and cultural impact. They are home to billions of people, accounting for a significant portion of the world's population. This demographic advantage translates into vast markets and immense human capital. They hold vast reserves of resources from minerals and oil to agricultural products. These resources are critical for global supply chains and economic stability, and they are experiencing rapid economic growth. This growth is not just in traditional industries, but also in technology, innovation, and infrastructure development. Within this alliance, one nation stands taller than the rest: China. China's economic and political clout has grown exponentially over the past few decades. The question is no longer whether China is influential within BRICS. Its influence is undeniable and far-reaching. Instead, the debate centers on the nature of its role. Is China a partner or a leader, a collaborator or a dominator? Is China a benevolent leader, guiding its partners toward prosperity, or is it a dominant force, using its weight to assert its own interests? The answers are complex and multifaceted. China's relationship with BRICS is multifaceted, marked by both cooperation and competition. This duality is what makes the alliance both powerful and precarious. To understand this dynamic, we must delve into the heart of the matter. We need to explore the economic policies, political strategies, and cultural exchanges that define this relationship. Let's examine China's economic and political influence within BRICS. How does it leverage its strengths, and what are the implications for the other member states? China's industrial might and financial power are key components of its influence. But it's not just about economics, it's also about soft power and diplomatic relations. And let's explore the perspectives of other member states, particularly India, as they navigate this evolving landscape. India's role is crucial, as it balances its own ambitions with the collective goals of BRICS. The future of BRICS, and indeed the shape of the international order, hinges on these very questions. The decisions made within this alliance will have far-reaching consequences. As China's star continues to rise, understanding its role within BRICS is crucial for comprehending the geopolitical forces shaping our world. The interplay between these nations will define the future of global politics and economics. China's economic rise has been nothing short of remarkable. Over the past few decades, it has transformed itself from a developing nation into a global powerhouse. This economic might is evident within BRICS, where China's influence is undeniable. China boasts the largest economy among the BRICS nations. Its GDP dwarfs that of the other members. This economic gravity pulls the rest of BRICS into its orbit. Trade flows within the group are heavily skewed towards China. This dominance brings both opportunities and challenges. On the one hand, China's economic engine can lift other BRICS nations. Its investments can fuel infrastructure projects and create jobs. On the other hand, this dependence on China creates vulnerabilities. The global economy is volatile. Changes in Chinese demand can have ripple effects throughout BRICS. This reality has led some to question the sustainability of BRICS. They argue that its future hinges on China's continued growth. China's influence within BRICS extends far beyond economics. It is also a significant diplomatic player, shaping the group's agenda and its place on the world stage. China has been a vocal advocate for BRICS expansion. It sees the addition of new members as a way to increase the group's clout. This push for expansion is part of a broader Chinese strategy. China aims to reshape the global order. One of China's key initiatives is the Belt and Road Initiative. This ambitious project aims to connect Asia, Africa, and Europe through a network of infrastructure projects. Many BRICS nations are situated along these proposed routes, making them natural partners for China. China's diplomatic efforts within BRICS are not without their critics. Some see these initiatives as a form of neo-colonialism. They argue that China is using its economic might to exert undue influence over developing nations. China's role within BRICS is a subject of intense debate. Perspectives vary widely, reflecting the complex dynamics at play. Some view China's rise as a positive development. They see BRICS as a counterweight to the West. They argue that the group can provide a platform for developing nations to have their voices heard. Others are more cautious. They worry about China's growing assertiveness. They fear that BRICS could become a vehicle for Chinese dominance. These differing viewpoints highlight the challenges facing BRICS. For the group to succeed, it must find ways to manage these internal tensions. The future of BRICS depends on its ability to forge a common path. This requires addressing the concerns of all members, not just the most powerful. Section 5. India, a rising counterweight. Within BRICS, India stands out as a potential counterweight to China. This is not just due to its size and population, but also because of its strategic positioning and growing influence on the global stage. Like China, India is a rising power with a rapidly growing economy and a billion-strong population. Its cities are bustling with activity, and its technology sector is booming, making it a significant player in the global market. However, there are key differences between the two Asian giants. While both nations have rich cultural heritages and vast landscapes, their paths to development and governance models are starkly different. India is a democracy, where leaders are elected through a democratic process, while China is an authoritarian state with a single-party system. This fundamental difference in political systems shapes their worldviews and their approaches to international relations. This difference in political systems shapes their worldviews and their approaches to international relations. India's democratic values often lead it to form alliances with other democracies, while China's approach is more centralized and state-controlled. India has historically been wary of aligning too closely with any one power, preferring a more non-aligned stance. This strategy has allowed it to maintain a degree of independence in its foreign policy, navigating complex international waters with a unique approach. Despite their differences, India and China share some common interests. Both nations are keen on economic development and have engaged in numerous trade deals and joint projects to bolster their economies. Both are seeking to reform the global governance system to give developing nations a greater voice. They believe that the current system is skewed in favor of developed countries and are advocating for a more balanced approach. Both are also keen to promote economic development and cooperation within the global South. They see this as a way to uplift their own economies while also helping other developing nations progress. The relationship between India and China is often described as a managed rivalry. They have areas of cooperation, but also significant points of contention, particularly along their shared border. They cooperate in areas of shared interest, such as trade and infrastructure projects, while competing in others, like regional influence and military capabilities. This rivalry adds another layer of complexity to the dynamics within BRICS. As both nations vie for influence, their interactions shape the future of this important international grouping. Section 6. Navigating internal differences. BRICS is not a monolithic bloc. Its members have diverse histories, cultures, and political systems, which contribute to a rich tapestry of perspectives and approaches. These differences sometimes lead to disagreements and tensions, as each country brings its own priorities and concerns to the table. The diversity within BRICS can be both a strength and a challenge. One significant source of friction is the issue of leadership. Each member nation has its own vision for the group's direction, and balancing these visions can be complex. China's economic and political clout give it a natural claim to leadership within the group. With its rapid economic growth and increasing global influence, China often finds itself at the forefront of BRICS initiatives. However, other members are reluctant to cede too much power to Beijing. Countries like India, Brazil, Russia, and South Africa have their own aspirations and are wary of a single nation dominating the agenda. Another challenge is the lack of a clear common agenda. While the group agrees on broad goals such as economic cooperation and global reform, the specifics often remain elusive. While BRICS members agree on the need for reform of the global order, they differ on the specifics. Each country has its own priorities and strategies for achieving these reforms, leading to varied approaches and sometimes conflicting interests. This lack of a shared vision can make it difficult for the group to act decisively. The absence of a unified strategy can lead to stalled initiatives and missed opportunities. Despite these challenges, BRICS has managed to achieve some notable successes. The group's ability to find common ground and work together on key issues demonstrates its potential. It has established a new development bank, which provides funding for infrastructure projects in developing countries. This initiative has helped bridge the gap in financing for critical development projects. It has also created a contingent reserve arrangement, a pool of foreign currency reserves that can be used to provide emergency financial assistance to members. This financial safety net is a testament to the group's commitment to mutual support and stability. Moving forward, the ability of BRICS to navigate its internal differences will be crucial. By fostering dialogue and understanding, the group can continue to build on its successes and play a significant role on the global stage. Section 7. The Expansion Dilemma: Strength or Dilution. The debate over BRICS expansion highlights the challenges of balancing competing interests within the group. Proponents of expansion argue that it is necessary to increase the group's global influence. They point out that the current members only represent a fraction of the world's population and GDP. By adding new members, BRICS could become a more representative and powerful voice for the global South. Opponents of expansion counter that adding new members could dilute the group's coherence and effectiveness. They worry that expansion could lead to a more unwieldy and divided bloc. The decision of whether or not to expand is a crucial one for BRICS. It will shape the group's future trajectory and its role in the world. Section 8. BRICS in a multipolar world. The rise of BRICS is occurring against the backdrop of a shifting global order. The unipolar moment, dominated by the United States, is giving way to a more multipolar world. In this new landscape, regional organizations like BRICS are becoming increasingly important. They offer a platform for countries to cooperate on issues of common interest and to project their influence on the world stage. The future of BRICS will depend on its ability to adapt to this changing global environment. It must find ways to overcome its internal divisions and to articulate a clear and compelling vision for a more just and equitable world order. Section 9. China's enduring influence. China's role within BRICS is complex and constantly evolving. It is both a driver of the group's success and a source of its challenges. One thing is certain: China's influence within BRICS is undeniable. Its economic might, its diplomatic activism, and its vision for a new global order are shaping the group's agenda and its place in the world. As BRICS navigates the complexities of a changing world, China will continue to play a central role. Understanding China's ambitions and its strategies within BRICS is essential for comprehending the forces that will shape the 21st century. The story of BRICS is, in many ways, the story of China's rise.